everyone, welcome to GrowingCraft. And before we start this tutorial, do make sure that you subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so that you guys do not miss out any of our updates. Now to make a flap here, I have taken up a cardstock of 6 1/4 inch by 7 inches and I am going to score a line at a margin of 1/2 inch here. Now once you are done with your scoring part, you have to make sure that you burnish it really well. The fold has to be really neat. Now after that it's time to burnish our second flap, but the size of this one is 7 inches by 4 inches and we are going to score 1/2 inches from one of the sides. And again here I'm going to burnish it really well. Now whenever I say burnish it really well, you have to make sure that the score line has been folded really well and you make sure that it has a nice fine line so that putting up your flap becomes much more easier. So once I am done with this, it's time to add some beautiful pattern papers to it. But before that, I'll just make a corner punch. Do let me know in the comment section if you are liking this tutorial and do leave your feedbacks. So once the corner work is done, here I'm going to add some of the beautiful pattern papers which I had pre-selected and I have already done the corner punch here.
À deux doigts de nos lèvres, deux doigts si fins que j'ai presque pu le goûter, le bonheur à sculpter de son ciseau d'orfèvre, des souvenirs impossibles à effacer. Le bonheur est passé à deux doigts de nos lèvres, deux doigts si fins que j'ai presque pu le goûter, le bonheur à sculpter de son ciseau d'orfèvre, des souvenirs impossibles à effacer.
So on my base page here, I'm going to stick my flaps, and for this I'm using my tacky tape. If you guys want, you can even use your liquid adhesive, but for these kind of sticking work, there are times when I prefer using my tacky tape because it's easy and it's quicker and it does not need a drying time. So you don't have to hold on your pages for a longer time. You just peel it off and stick it and it's ready to go. So I'm starting with sticking it on from one of the corners, and you can choose the layout as per your needs. Now here I knew where I exactly wanted it, and before adding my base paper, I'm sticking both my flaps. The second flap, I'm going to put it a little on the off center because I want to add a little more elements in this particular flap. Now this is one of the interesting part. So here I am using this die cut and I am going to use this beautiful layout. So I have done the same die cutting for 3 different pages. One is for the cardstock and 2 are for the pattern papers, so that when I'm using this as my lock, it has all the designs from both the sides. So on both the sides I'm going to stick 2 different pattern papers and they look super cute. Now once it's ready and it has dried out completely, and I'm just going to mark where exactly I want it. So I just want to have a new locking system on this page so that whenever I'm adding my flaps or the pockets or the extra tags, it does not fall off. So with my punch, this one is from We Are Memory Keepers, and I'm going to make a punch and I'm going to put this with my eyelid in the paper. So the next thing is to let's start working on the inner page. So here first I'm going to add my pattern paper. I had already pre-selected it. I have already cut it to the size. I'm just going to leave like 1 mm or 1.5 mm margin from all the four sides, and I'm going to stick this with my liquid glue. So here is a cardstock and I wanted to add pockets. So I'm using a cardstock of size 9 inches by 3 inches, and I have already scored it half inches from both the sides. Now this is going to be a very fun pocket where I'm going to add a few more elements which you will see at the end of the video, and I'm going to add a lot of tags inside it in a design way. So using my liquid glue and my tacky tape to stick this one. So I'm sticking this on one of the inner parts of my page, and I'm just putting it on one of the corners so that on the other side where there is a slot open, I can put up my tags and my picture spaces. So once this is done, I'm going to add a beautiful pattern paper. Now this complete scrapbook what I'm making, the series what you're watching is in the name of Jungle Fun. So all the pages are going to have some of the other animal elements which you will see at the end of this tutorial. Or you can even check out our walkthrough of this particular newborn baby scrapbook. And so I'm using a lot of different colors in this one. Once I'm done with this part, it's time to add a few more flaps. So I just thought of doing something interesting. The cardstock size is 6 inches by 4.5 inches, scored at a half inches, and here the flap is going to be used for pictures. Now you can insert the picture and you can stick the pictures. So first I'm just going to do slot cutting work. This is just with my circle punch. If you don't have, you can just cut it with your scissors, it's absolutely fine, or you can even leave it as it is. I have already cut a cardstock of the same size, but I have just created a half-inch border from all the four sides. But while sticking it, you have to make sure that you stick it only from the three sides, and once you are sure from where you want to have the opening, you can stick it on your base. Now this is a very fun and interesting way to add space for your pictures, and they look super cool. So I'm going to make one more of the same design, and then we are going to stick it on the inner page. Now, like I said, on the top flap, I am going to add some elements. So here I have taken up the clouds. I'm joining two clouds and I wanted to have a nice hanging space for my flap. So I just wanted to measure that this is a little bigger than the flap size so that I can score it, make it fold from two of the corners and make it as a hanging slot. And I'm going to use my scoreboard. Just I have measured it to the size of my flap. I'm going to have the same measurement on my clouds from the center, and then I'll whatever the remainings are, I'm going to stick it as shown in the video.
Impossible à effacer, que j'ai presque pu le goûter. Impossible à effacer, que j'ai presque pu le goûter. Impossible à effacer, que j'ai presque pu le goûter. Le bonheur est passé à deux doigts de nos lèvres, deux doigts si fins que j'ai presque pu le goûter. Le bonheur a sculpté de son ciseau d'orfèvre des souvenirs impossibles à effacer. Le bonheur est passé à deux doigts de nos lèvres, deux doigts si fins que j'ai presque pu le goûter. Le bonheur a sculpté de son ciseau d'orfèvre des souvenirs impossibles à effacer. Que j'ai presque pu le goûter.
So once the sticking work is done, here it's time to add your cardstocks for your pocket. So I am using my card tags and I'm adding a backing of my cardstock here. I'm just sticking it from the top so that it can just swipe in inside my flap and it looks super cute and super gorgeous. So like I said, this is a baby girl album but in a jungle theme, so I'm using a lot of mixed colors. There are few pages which right now they are looking very pink, but I'm going to add a lot of elements of the jungle and the animal theme and it's going to look super cute. So this is how I'm inserting my tag and this looks gorgeous now. Adding a sentiment here just to highlight my flap.
Le bonheur est passé à deux doigts de nos lèvres, deux doigts si fins que j'ai presque pu le goûter. Le bonheur a sculpté de son ciseau d'orfèvre des souvenirs impossibles à effacer. Le bonheur est passé à deux doigts de nos lèvres, deux doigts si fins que j'ai presque pu le goûter. Le bonheur a
Now to work on the inner pages, I wanted to make sure that when I'm turning my pages, my tags and the flaps, whatever I'm putting inside these pocket, it does not come out. So I'm using a similar kind of die cut which I had used on the top, and I'm going to make a hole punch and I'm going to put this with the help of my eyelid.
impossible à effacer. Impossible à effacer. Que j'ai presque pu le goûter. Impossible à effacer.
Now I will be adding some cute little elements here and there, like here as I had mentioned, this is an animal and a jungle theme. I will be having animals and cute little ones to stick around, so I will be adding a lot of space for the journaling and the tag and the pictures and the messages. So adding few more elements here and there where you can easily insert your tags and your notes. Adding few more elements here and there, and you can always mix and match your elements. Like here I'm using a hot air balloon, I'm using my animals, I'm going to use few of my cute little animal in a jungle theme cutouts, and they look super cute and gorgeous. Now on my this flap, the border was visible. To cover that, I'm using a pink color cloud, and I'm just going to cut it to the exact size what I need for my cardstock. And once I know the exact size, I'm just marking that with my nails, and I'm going to cut it and stick it there. So with this, my layout is done, and this looks super cute and super gorgeous. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. Do let me know your feedbacks in the comment section, and do not forget to watch the complete walkthrough of the album to see what we are coming up next with. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care and bye bye.